Good morning, welcome to Morning Outlook. This is version 2. I managed to record a whole 6 minutes with no sound, and well, fortunately there's sounds on this one because you wouldn't be able to hear me otherwise. Okay, let's run through these markets very briefly. Lots of markets have done pretty much the same pattern. Near enough all of them have done the same pattern, either inverted or whatever. But there's a good correlation across the markets with the US dollar being the stronger pairing. But starting off with the euro dollar, and well, good sell off yesterday back towards that daily 100. It actually having a bit of a correction. It broke through that a little bit of a correction on the hourly point of view. You can see its divergence that's sitting across the hourlies here. We are pushing back towards the daily pivot, or potentially, if I was looking for the shorts on this, I do want that to be ticked off this morning. There is a bit of I want to go with the trend that's sitting there this morning, but there is a concern that it may want to run a bit further through. I've talked about this quite a lot lately, where price just keeps coming back to the monthly pivot, and it's sitting in that range. Now we've broken out of what was a trend on the bigger time frame there, so maybe that range is done and dusted. We'll see, but we'll see how things roll this morning. But my preference, as I said, is to be trading the retracement if it occurs. But just need to get this divergence worn off properly first. This 60-minute divergence is sort of getting there, but I'd just like to see a little bit more upside for potential sell points. The pound's no different really. Just come back to daily. The retracements have been shallow. Both these markets are showing signs of a possible bit of weakness, and particularly with the pound, we've got this sort of more dovish speak from the Bank of England governor. The moves here, well, there's divergence across the 4-hourly time frame here. I would like to see a bit more correction before I can trade it. I certainly won't be trading it before 8 o'clock. But we've just seen a bit of a sell-off from that back into that 60.21 at the moment. I'll just wait and see if it pulls back a little bit further. I'd prefer with a sort of site. I mean, it's barely done any retracements here, very shallow retracements. I'd rather see it pull back a little bit further to be starting to try and sell into that. So for now, I'm going to be sitting on my hands by the looks of things. Dollar yen, similar picture, inverted of course. Solid move up, the best move we've seen for a couple of weeks here in terms of the size of the move. But again, we are a bit overbought maybe on the 4-hourlies there, and some people's calculations. We certainly got some divergences running on the hourly there, and a retracement would be sensible waiting for a retracement, I should say, back towards the pivot. Okay, let's do yen there. Let's have a look. The Aussie dollar. Aussie dollar continued its sell-off yesterday. Again, strong downside. I still think there's possibly more downside in the Aussie dollar. There's too many retail speculators being bullish on it, so that always means that it should sell off more. Again, this spiky movement through the Asian session there, we've seen it in a few of the currencies there, and the divergence kicking in. It may not want to get back to its daily pivot, in which case I'm not in. But this is what I'm looking for in all the markets, some sort of retracement. I'm wary of this sort of early go move. It may just be a fake out as opposed to a proper sell. Canadian dollar done pretty much the same thing here. Strong buying coming through on the US dollar there against the Canadian dollar. We've got a chance to go back up there and tap that monthly pivot again. I didn't realize we'd actually caught it earlier on in the month there a few weeks ago, but it does look like it's got that potential to push up there. There's certainly a weakness, but again there's divergence into that double top. Bigger correction back to that daily pivot, maybe even more, 34, something a bit more, just to wear off that divergence. And even then, with these divergence moves, we could just be, or I say with divergence moves, but once they're worn off, we could just be looking for the upper trend lines that's coming through from these highs here to wait for a break of that before long positions are taken, and then R1s, maybe R2s in some cases for these inverted currencies, or vice versa for the pound and the euro S1, S2 as targets. Okay, that's pretty much it. I did look at oil a moment ago, so I'll look at it again here. It has had quite a bit of a bounce since yesterday afternoon there. I'm just waiting for Trump to put out his next Twitter to say he's not happy that the markets haven't reacted to what he said. But anyway, oil is at the moment pushing back up towards that $70. It's got the daily pivot below there. I may look to short it on the break of the trend line at this shorter time break trend line here at some point later on. If we see any correction, it's sort of diverged earlier. It may have broken through that now, but we'll see. Anyway, that's it for today. News-wise, there wasn't anything significant coming out today. We've already seen the Aussie inflation data, the CPI coming out first thing this morning. Euro German IFO business climate, that comes out at 9, and then that's pretty much it. The CB consumer confidence figures coming out at 3 p.m. I don't think consumer confidence is going to be too important at the moment, but we'll see. We're seeing some positive numbers. It may start being a little bit more of a reading to take note of. Have a great day. Bye for now.